Israeli forces are withdrawing from eastern Khan Younis in southern Gaza 9 days after launching a military offensive there. At least 21 Palestinians were killed in the area in the past 24 hours. Another 43 were injured and taken to Nasser Hospital, the city's last functioning health facility. During the offensive, thousands of people were forced to head west towards al-Mawasi, where families are living in tents. Israel had previously declared al-Mawasi a so-called safe evacuation zone, but has attacked it repeatedly. Let's bring in our correspondent, Hani Mahmoud. He's joining us live from central Gaza's largest city, Deir el-Balah. Hani, what are you hearing about the state that Israeli soldiers have left eastern Khan Younis in, keeping in mind that most of the city was already destroyed before the latest offensive?
Yes, well, the Israeli military would start withdrawing from eastern part of Khan Younis as early hours of last night under heavy coverage of air attacks and heavy artillery that went on for almost all night long, to the point people were thinking taking the impression that the military operation was expanding into further areas to the center and the western part of the city, just given the intensity of the air attacks and the heavy artillery and the heavy machine guns that could be heard loudly from the center part of the city and at the vicinity of Nasser Hospital. But as of early hours of this morning, the Israeli military has withdrawn fully from all eastern part of Khan Younis. However, there isn't any official comment or statement by the Israeli military about an end to the military operations in eastern Khan Younis, which makes it quite risky right now. There's fear that is mounting that there might be a recurrent incursion or a sudden attack, as it happened 9 days ago when the Israeli military, out of nowhere, started attacking the eastern part of Khan Younis without giving any prior warning whatsoever to many of the families who ended up being trapped inside their residential homes, including people with some health complications as well as disabilities who were quite unable to take shelters or leave their homes. The sudden attack by heavy artilleries and air attacks on residential homes and public facilities, it created a havoc. It created the state of panic among the residents of the eastern part of Khan Younis, who were either trying to leave their homes, seeking shelters elsewhere. It was not until 45 minutes later the Israeli military issued evacuation orders, but it was still under heavy artillery from the eastern part of the city that targeted almost the entire residential blocks in the eastern part of Khan Younis city, ordering people sharply to take al-Mawasi evacuation zone to that area. The Israeli military, after 9 days, left eastern Khan Younis, but leaving trails of devastation and destruction to all means of life, including public facilities, including social services, facilities across the city. Eyewitnesses who are making their way to their residential home are describing what they are seeing as horrific, and they're going back to more of a wasteland that has become uninhabitable.
Hani, thank you for that update. That is Hani Mahmoud, live in Deir el-Balah in central Gaza.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.